Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Disney Brides Diary. Let me put my little ring light back on here. With my old life that I had scheduled and all set up for the past 12 hours, something happened to that live. It was like very echoey through it, so I'm gonna try this again and see if this works. Because I don't have like having that echoey feedback. So repeating back again, what I was saying in my other live is we have an MSC Seashore cruise coming up this week. It is going to be a 4-night to the Bahamas. It goes to MSC Ocean Cay Reserve, Ocean Key, however you like to say it, and then Nassau. So we're excited about that. I'm going to be doing a packing list. I'm going to be going over my packing list, and then I'm also going to be answering common questions that I've seen a lot of people ask, and even questions that we've asked and I couldn't find the answer to, but I ended up finding out the answer. Let me just fix my lighting here and give some more time for people to join. Okay, let's see. All right. So I hope everyone is having a great week so far. All right, so let's dive right in. So for my packing list, I'm a pretty simple person, I'd like to think. Basically, I just grab my clothes, I grab the essentials, I throw it in. I'm not the type of person that has like 10 suitcases. If you're that type of person, that's completely fine. I have family members that are like that, and you know, everyone's different. So, but I just like having one suitcase. So I will pack one suitcase for me and my son and throw all of our clothes in one suitcase. So far on my packing list, I have lanyard. Now, when it comes to being on a cruise, this is our 12th cruise. I don't consider us cruising pros, but we've been on enough cruises to know what you need, what you don't need for a cruise. Now, when you're cruising, a lanyard comes in super handy, especially a waterproof one. So this one is from Disney Cruise Line, and I absolutely love this one because it seals very tight, and then it has like also a little floaty thing on the inside. So when you go in the water, it'll float to the top. It's not gonna sink down. Now we also use lanyards for the islands. If you're going to an island, you don't wanna leave your bags with your wallet and everything on the sand unattended. If they don't have lockers, you don't want to leave your wallet unattended, obviously, because it can get swiped. So you're going to put your key cards to your room. You're going to put your credit cards, any type of cards that you have inside of your lanyard with your phone. That's usually what we do. So this is the main important thing that I would pack. Super important. Now on the cruise ships, they do sell the lanyards like this. I've seen them in between $10 to $20 on Amazon. They're super cheap. So if you don't have time to get them on Amazon, they do sell them on the cruise ships, and they sell them on the islands as well. I've seen them all around. Okay, so I got my little packing list here. I took the time to write everything down. All right, so we'll go ahead and check that off the list. Now in the comments below, if you join this live while I am doing my packing list, in the comments below, if you can think of anything else that I may need for the cruise that I did not cover, just let me know in the comments. Like I said, I'm pretty simple when it comes to packing, so I don't need a lot. I don't require a lot. So lanyard, got that. Passports and passport covers. So you can have your passport, obviously, but it's also nice to have a little cover. I have one that says like Mr. and Mrs., one for me and my husband, so I'm gonna have that. But you do want your passport. That's an essential that you need for your cruise. Now, some cruises do accept your birth certificate. So MSC is one of those cruises that does accept a certified birth certificate. That's if you're cruising domestic. So if you're leaving the port in a domestic area and you're also coming back to that same port domestic, then you can cruise with your birth certificate. You do not need a passport. Okay, so I'll check that off my list. I have my passport and passport covers. It's just nice to have that, the cover, just have that extra added security. That way it doesn't get dirty. Most of the time my passport cover falls off, so that's not really a necessity. Next is, these things are kind of out of order that I wrote down. I just wrote what I needed as I went along. So we have here boarding passes. So your boarding passes through MSC. If you download the MSC app, you can upload your boarding passes and then get them through the app. Once you get to the port, you can just show them and they'll scan it from the app. Okay, so we're going to be leaving out of Port Canaveral. So we love that port. It's a really quick process when we went for the Disney cruise. So I'm anticipating for MSC it's not going to be horrible. There have been mixed reviews, so we'll see. I'll be able to give my review of how it is leaving out of Port Canaveral in a couple of days. All right, so boarding passes, lanyard, passports. Those are things that you need on your packing list. Another thing is you need children's medicine. If you're traveling with children, you want to make sure that you have your children's Motrin, your children's Advil, children's Tylenol. You want to make sure you have your teething stuff, your allergy medicine. What else can I think of? Vicks. Obviously, diapers, wipes if you have younger kids that aren't potty trained. Swim diapers. Now, depending on the cruise line, they do not allow non-potty trained children in the water. So that varies. I've been seeing different reviews on that. But anyways, I have the swim diapers ready to go. Just because I feel more comfortable with my son having swim diapers under his swimming trunks rather than nothing at all. So you want that added protection in the pools or in the water areas. So swim diapers is on my packing list. Regular diapers, wipes, you want all those things if you're traveling with toddlers or babies. Now they do provide, I believe, if you need a playpen, that is something that the cruise line, I believe you can request, depending on the cruise line. We don't need that because he sleeps in the bed, so that's fine. Now, let's see. You want your adult medicine, you want Gas-X, you want Tylenol, Advil, you know, the same things that you would for a child, you want for adult as well. You want to make sure you have that on your packing list, all the medicines. Now, they will have the medicine on the cruise ship at the gift shop, but obviously it's at a more expensive price. So bring your own medicine definitely if you do not want to pay an inflated price. Okay, so I'm checking that off of my packing list. Let's see, chargers, phone chargers. Now, what's great about MSC Seashores cabins is that they do have USB ports. So along with having that one outlet, I don't know how many outlets exactly they have in the cabins, but I did see on a couple of videos that they did have at least 2 USB charging ports. So if you have your USB cord, you can go ahead and use those ports. Now with my iPhone 14, I always forget the version of mine. I have the latest iPhone, and with my iPhone, it does not use the standard USB plug like this. It looks a little bit different. It's like thinner, and I have to use like an adapter. So if you have the latest iPhone, make sure you do get a little adapter for your charging cord to put in that USB port. Okay, so going over my list, we have lanyard, passports, covers, swim diapers, chargers, boarding passes, which are on your phone if you download the MSC app, children's medicine, adult medicine. Now I'm going over my packing list. I am actually writing things as I go along if there's anything else that I need or can think of. So let's see, hats. Hats are a must because obviously depending on the island and what you're doing as far as your excursion, you want to have that added sun protection. So I'm going to go ahead and check off hats. I don't have my hats here, but I have it somewhere nearby. Okay, now little travel size things. You can take on, basically, it's not like a flight, so you can take on whatever size like suntan lotion you want. You can take on the travel sizes. If you go to Target, if you've seen in my Target videos, you can see the whole section that Target has of travel size items, which is nice. So head to Target if you want to get all things travel size. Okay, now going on, that's what I have on my packing list. that's pretty much the main things that I can think of. Your medicines, the lanyard, your passport, you have your boarding pass, and let's see what else. Okay, that's that. Now I'm gonna go over some common questions that I myself have had and I've seen others have. Now, winter cruises, should you or should you not do a winter cruise? Now, if you're cruising in January, depending on the islands that you go to, you do run the risk of it being cold weather. So right now, for instance, we're looking at Nassau, and Nassau looks like it's going to be about 69 to 70 something degrees. It's been changing every day, so I don't know what it is now, but it's looking a little bit cold, and it's also showing wind. So if you do a winter cruise in January, December, around those times, you have to keep in mind that the weather may be a little chilly. Now, if you're coming from the northern states that are super cold and you're used to negative 10-degree weather, coming down to the Bahamas or Ocean Key Reserve is gonna be paradise for you because you're used to that cold weather anyways. But for us from Florida, we are not used to those cold conditions and it being windy. So what I recommend is if you do take a winter cruise and it gets cold, you just want to be prepared with a light jacket. Of course, you're not going to go out there wearing, if you go to the Bahamas or an island destination, you're not going to go out there wearing a big puffy jacket. You can get like the long sleeve type swim shirts. That's what I have on my packing list that I'm going to add, is long sleeve swim shirts. Those are great to have. And then what else? So yeah, I mean, winter cruises, you know, if it's not raining, it's doable. If it's cold, you're still gonna enjoy it anyways. I figured for myself, MSC Seashore is a new ship. We haven't been on it before and it's huge. So if the weather is a little bit cold, we can still enjoy the ship and everything that the ship has. MSC Seashore has like the jungle area, which is a little bit heated, so it's not gonna be, it'll be nice to enjoy that, and the jacuzzis as well. Okay, so that is my advice on if you take a winter cruise and you decide to take one in December, January. Now, MSC Seashore, if you're gonna be taking it out of Port Canaveral, it's located at Terminal 10 at Port Canaveral, but there's gonna be signs anyways, so you'll see those signs to get to your terminal, MSC Seashore. Now, I discussed the passport. Now, there was a little bit of confusion. If your passport expires in a couple of months from your sailing date, so let's say you're sailing in January, your passport expires in April or May. As long as your passport is valid during the duration of your cruise, that is fine. If it expires during the duration of your cruise, then that is not okay. You run the risk of getting there to the port and then denying you entry, because on MSC's website, they prefer that your passport is valid 6 months after your cruising date. So they say it's preferred, it's not required. But to be on the safe side, if your passport does expire, let's say a week after your cruise, you can always bring your birth certificate with you so that you have that double level of protection to make it into the port. Because if you're denied at the port and you cannot gain entry, they do not refund you your money. Okay, so that's as far as the passport goes and the passport expiration. You can also travel domestically with a birth certificate. If you need to order a birth certificate in the state of Florida, you can go through vitalcheck.com and they mail that out to you literally in 1 to 2 days, and you get your birth certificate if you don't have it. Okay, now 4-night cruises with MSC do have theme nights. They have Glow Party, Tropical Night, White Party, and Sunshine, the 70s and 80s. Sunshine is 70s and 80s dress up. Now with 3-night cruises, that goes down to Glow Party, White Party, and the Sunshine. Okay, if you're parking at Port Canaveral, the price is $17 a day, and that starts with the day that you get there and the day that you leave. So it's $17 a day for each day that you're there, and you park in the parking garage. It's super easy. I love it. Now, to get your luggage tags, once you arrive at the port, you can see there's lines of porters, which are the employees that are there to take your luggage. So you can give the porters your luggage and they'll slap on a boarding, a luggage tag for you. So you don't have to worry about that. And they'll take your luggage. You can go park in the parking garage and then walk right over to board and check in the cruise ship. Okay, now if you have never been to MSC Ocean Cay Reserve, you can watch Building Paradise Island on Tubi. That is a documentary that talks about Ocean Cay Reserve, and it explains how it was built, the whole process of everything that they had to go through. It's super interesting, and it just shows the behind the scenes of making Ocean Cay Reserve. So once again, that's on Tubi, which is free for everyone if you have a smart TV, and it's called Building Paradise Island. Okay, now MSC, they also offer free room upgrades. I'm sorry, it's not free. They offer room upgrades. So usually you'll get an email by MSC and it'll say upgrades, and you click it and they'll give you 4 or 5 different options of rooms that you can upgrade to. It's at a discounted price, which is nice. So they do offer that, and you can place a bid on it. So let's say you can bid for the room at, let's say, $200 per person, and you send in that bid. They will give you an email back the next day saying if it was approved or not. For some people, I've heard it takes them a couple, maybe a month or 2, just depends on the situation on how long you're gonna hear back. Okay, but basically I wrote down my little list of comments and concerns that I've heard. I hope I covered everything. If you took the time to watch my live, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching. We love cruising. We're going to be going in a couple of days. So if you want to see that cruise footage from MSC Seashore, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Go ahead and click the bell to receive those notifications. I'll be doing a lot of lives, like I said in my other videos, because I just enjoy them. Doing lives are easier. I don't have to edit. I can just talk on the spot, upload it, and go. Anyways, guys, have a great rest of the week. Enjoy your weekend coming up, and do not forget to stay magical.